I'm Stella, and my life with Victor has always been a polished masterpiece, a perfect blend of elegance and ambition in the heart of the city. But beneath the surface of our glamorous world, a restless hunger stirred in me, craving something wild and untamed. That night, as I descended the ancient stone steps into the secretive depths of the Crimson Vault, I felt the chill of the unknown wrap around me like a second skin. The flickering candlelight, the heavy silence, and the piercing gazes of strangers pulled me into a forbidden game I never expected to play. What happened in that hidden cellar changed everything, and I'm not sure if I've betrayed my husband or discovered a darker, deeper bond between us. Stick around to find out just how far I went into the shadows. Picture this, a world where every shadow holds a secret, and every whisper carries a promise. I'm Stella, 38 years old, and I've spent the last 12 years weaving my life into the intricate tapestry of my husband Victor's dreams. Victor, 42, is a man who commands attention without even trying. Tall, with sharp, chiseled features that could cut glass, and a presence that fills any room he enters. Always dressed in tailored suits that seem to be an extension of his very being, he's a restaurateur with a flair for the extraordinary. His latest passion project, the Crimson Vault, is a private wine club nestled in an ancient cellar beneath one of his upscale restaurants in the pulsing heart of the city. It's a place that feels like stepping into another era, a hidden realm where time itself seems to pause. I can still feel the chill of those stone walls when I close my eyes. They're cold to the touch, rough and uneven, as if they've borne witness to centuries of untold stories. The heavy wooden beams overhead creak with age, their dark grain almost black in the dim, flickering light of wrought iron sconces. Plush velvet drapes, deep as the richest Merlot, line the space, swallowing sound and wrapping every conversation in a cocoon of intimacy. It's an otherworldly ambiance, like being inside a secret that's been kept for generations. Victor often says, with a glint in his eye, that every drop of wine in the vault has its own story. I've heard him repeat that mantra during our quiet dinners at home, his voice low and playful, as if he's sharing a private joke with the universe itself. It always makes me smile, though I've never quite understood the depth behind his words. As his wife, I've stood by his side through every venture, every grand opening, every late-night brainstorm over a glass of something rare and exquisite. I'm often at his events, dressed in elegance, smiling for the guests, but always as an observer. I'm the silent partner in his world of culinary artistry, the one who nods and listens while he spins his magic for others. And for a long time, that was enough. The polished life we've built together, our sleek, modern home with its floor-to-ceiling windows, the whirlwind of social engagements, the quiet moments where his hand finds mine under the table. It's a life many would envy. But lately there's a restlessness stirring in me, a quiet ache I can't quite name. I find myself staring out those windows, wondering if there's something more beyond the glass, something raw and untamed that I've yet to touch. I've tried to push the feeling aside, to focus on the rhythm of our days. Victor's energy is infectious, after all. Watching him work a room, his laughter booming over the clink of glasses, it's hard not to get swept up in his orbit. There are moments late at night when the world is asleep and it's just us, where I feel a flicker of something deeper, something unspoken that lingers in the air between us. But tonight, as I stand at the threshold of the Crimson Vault, that flicker feels like it's about to ignite into something I can't predict. I'm descending into the unknown, and every step I take pulls me further from the familiar. The narrow, winding stone staircase seems to go on forever, each step echoing under my heels as I make my way down. The air grows cooler with every inch I descend, a damp chill seeping into my skin, making me shiver despite the deep burgundy gown Victor chose for me. The fabric clings to my curves, elegant, yet so revealing that I feel a strange mix of grace and vulnerability, like I'm bearing more than just my shoulders. The flickering light from the wrought iron sconces on the walls casts long, eerie shadows that dance across the uneven stone, making the descent feel like a journey into some ancient, forbidden place. My breath catches a little, not just from the cold, but from the weight of anticipation pressing against my chest. I can hear it now. A faint hum of voices drifting up from below, a low murmur that grows clearer with each step. It's like a chorus of secrets, pulling me closer, making my heart beat faster. I smooth the gown over my hips, trying to steady myself, but the fabric feels like a second skin, amplifying every sensation. By the time I reach the heavy oak door at the bottom, my pulse is racing, a wild rhythm I can't control. Victor is there, waiting for me, his tall frame silhouetted against the dim light spilling from beyond the door. His dark eyes scan me from head to toe, an unreadable expression flickering across his sharp features. For a moment, I feel like a prized possession under his gaze, both cherished and exposed. Then, without a word, he pushes the door open, the creak of the hinges sounding like a warning. Stepping inside, I'm met with a sight that steals the breath from my lungs. 13 men are seated around a long, polished wooden table, their immaculate dark suits blending into the shadows of the room. Their ages vary. Some look to be in their late 20s, others closer to 60, but they all share the same air of quiet intensity. As I enter, their conversations die down, and a heavy silence falls over the space. Every pair of eyes turns to me, a mix of curiosity and anticipation etched into their faces. I feel the weight of their stares like a physical touch, and it takes everything in me not to falter. The room itself is a study in opulence and mystery. The table is adorned with crystal wine glasses, each filled with a deep red liquid that catches the candlelight, shimmering like liquid rubies. The air is thick with the scent of aged oak and fermented grapes, a heady aroma that wraps around me, pulling me deeper into this strange world. The walls are draped in the same rich velvet I've seen upstairs, but down here it feels even more suffocating, as if the very air is thick with secrets. The silence in the crimson vault is suffocating now, pressing down on me like a tangible weight. My heart thuds in my chest, each beat echoing in my ears as I stand there, frozen under the gaze of 13 men. The candlelight flickers, casting golden glints across their faces, and I can feel the tension coiling tighter, like a spring about to snap. Then movement catches my eye. The first man rises from his seat at the far end of the table, a middle-aged gentleman with salt and pepper hair and a quiet intensity that seems to radiate from his very being. His presence is commanding, yet there's a restraint in his movements as he approaches me. The click of his polished shoes against the stone floor is deliberate, each step measured, resonating in the stillness of the room. I can't move, can't breathe, as he stops just in front of me and places a hand on my shoulder. His touch is light, almost reverent, but it sends a shiver racing down my spine. My eyes dart to Victor, standing near the edge of the room, his posture relaxed but his gaze sharp. He gives a subtle nod, a silent approval that makes my stomach twist in a way I can't quite name. Before I can process what's happening, a second man approaches. He's younger, with sharp cheekbones that catch the dim light, giving his face an almost sculpted look. He steps close, too close, and I feel the heat of his breath as he leans in. His fingers trace a slow, deliberate line along my collarbone, the touch feather-light but electric, sending a jolt through my entire body. I'm caught off guard, my breath hitching as a third man, older and more reserved, joins us. His demeanor is calm, almost formal, as he takes my hand in his. He lifts it to his lips, pressing a lingering kiss to my knuckles, his breath warm against my skin. My mind is spinning, a whirlwind of confusion and sensation as the pieces start to fall into place. Victor's words from earlier echo in my head, sharp and cutting. Not as the owner's wife. I understand now, with a clarity that hits like a punch to the chest. This isn't just a social event, not a mere tasting of rare vintages. I'm not here as a guest or a bystander. I'm the centerpiece of this evening, a living story to be shared among these men. Each moment a chapter they'll carry with them. The realization should shatter me, should send me running for the door, but instead, there's a strange, intoxicating sense of liberation blooming in my chest. For so long, I've hidden behind my status, my role, the carefully curated image of Victor's perfect partner. But here, in this ancient cellar, I'm stripped bare. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. I'm fully present, surrendering to the moment in a way I've never allowed myself before. My body trembles, not with fear, but with the raw, unfiltered intensity of it all as the procession continues. Each of the 13 men takes their turn, their interactions varying in tone and touch. Some offer tender gestures, their hands brushing against mine with a gentleness that contrasts the charged atmosphere. Others murmur words in low, hushed tones, their voices weaving stories I can't quite grasp but feel deep in my bones. One man, with a weathered face and eyes that seem to hold a lifetime of secrets, lingers longer, his gaze locking with mine as if he's trying to memorize every detail. Another, younger and bolder, lets his touch wander just enough to hint at unspoken desires, a silent dance of boundaries pushed but not crossed. Through it all, Victor doesn't stand aside. He directs the scene with a quiet authority that I've seen him wield in boardrooms and kitchens alike. His voice cuts through the heavy silence, each command precise and unyielding. Next. Slower, he says at one point, his tone calm but firm, ensuring the rhythm of the evening remains under his control. Look at her. Remember her like this, he instructs another, his words sending a shiver through me as I realize he's crafting this memory not just for them, but for himself. I'm still trembling as I rise from the high-backed chair, my legs unsteady beneath me, threatening to give way with every shaky step. The burgundy gown clings to my sweat-dampened skin, the fabric heavy now, as if it's absorbed every intense moment of the evening in the crimson vault. My breath is shallow, my chest tight, as I force myself to stand tall despite the storm raging inside me. Behind me, the 13 men remain seated at the long, polished table, their presence a lingering weight on my shoulders. I can feel their eyes on me even now, though I refuse to meet their gazes. Some of them sip their wine, the crystal glasses catching the candlelight, and I hear the faint clink of glass against glass, as if they're toasting to what just unfolded. Their expressions, from the glimpses I caught earlier, are a mix of awe and satisfaction, like they've just witnessed something rare and unforgettable. And maybe they have. My mind is a chaotic whirlwind, emotions crashing into each other with no clear victor. Shame burns hot in my chest, but there's also this strange, undeniable sense of empowerment, as if I've claimed a part of myself I didn't know existed. Confusion clouds everything, tangled with a flicker of desire I'm not sure I want to acknowledge. What have I done? What have I become in this hidden cellar beneath the city? I'm lost in these thoughts when I sense Victor approaching. His footsteps are measured, deliberate, echoing softly on the stone floor. I glance up, just enough to see his face, but it's unreadable, a mask of control that hides whatever he's feeling. My heart skips, uncertainty gnawing at me as he extends his arm. I hesitate for only a moment before taking it, my fingers curling around the fabric of his tailored suit. I need his stability right now, more than I'd like to admit. His grip is firm, grounding, and without a word, he leads me away from the table. away from the weight of those 13 pairs of eyes. We move toward a narrow archway at the back of the cellar, the shadows deepening as we step through. A short flight of steps awaits us, each one creaking under our weight as we ascend. The air shifts as we climb, growing cooler, fresher, until we emerge onto a small, private terrace overlooking the sprawling city below. The night sky stretches endlessly above us, dotted with stars, and the distant hum of urban life feels like a world away from the suffocating intimacy of the vault. The cool breeze hits my skin like a shock, a sharp contrast to the stifling heat I've just escaped, and I take a deep, shuddering breath, trying to steady myself. My gown flutters slightly in the wind, and I wrap my arms around myself, not just for warmth, but to hold together the pieces of me that feel like they're unraveling. Victor releases my arm, and I feel the absence of his touch immediately, a sudden void that leaves me adrift. He moves toward a small table on the terrace, where a single candle flickers in the darkness, its flame dancing with the breeze. Beside it sits an open bottle of wine, the deep red liquid inside catching the faint light, mirroring the glasses I saw downstairs. My eyes follow his every move as he pours a glass with deliberate care, his hands steady, almost ritualistic in their precision. The sound of the wine filling the glass is the only noise between us, a soft trickle that seems louder than it should in the heavy silence. My heart pounds in my chest, a relentless drumbeat, as I wait for him to speak, to say something, anything, that might make sense of what happened tonight. I need an explanation, a judgment, a reaction. Is he angry? Disappointed? Or is there something else in his mind, something I can't predict? I'm not sure I'm ready to hear it, whatever it is, but the silence is suffocating, pressing down on me until I feel like I might scream just to break it. My mind replays the evening, frame by frame, like a film I can't stop watching. Every touch, every whispered word, every moment of surrender. It all comes rushing back, and I can't shake the intensity of it all, the way each moment downstairs carved itself into my very being. I'm standing here on this terrace, the city sprawling beneath me like a glittering puzzle, but my mind is still trapped in the crimson vault, reliving every charged encounter. My skin still tingles with the echoes of those touches, each one a brushstroke painting a new version of me, bold and untamed. I'm caught between the woman I was before tonight and the one I've become. And the weight of that transformation is both exhilarating and terrifying. Victor turns to me now, the glass of wine in his hand, catching the faint glow of the candlelight. He steps closer, his presence as commanding as ever, and as he hands me the glass, his fingers graze mine. It's a fleeting touch, but it sends a jolt through me, a reminder of the electric tension that's been simmering all evening. I meet his gaze, and the weight of it pins me in place. His dark eyes are intense, searching, as if he's looking straight through to the core of me, seeing every thought, every conflicting emotion. My breath catches, and for a moment, the world narrows to just the two of us. The city's hum fading into a distant murmur. His voice breaks the silence, low and almost reverent, carrying a depth that makes my heart stutter. You were the best event this club has ever had. The words hang in the air, heavy with meaning, and I'm stunned, frozen as they sink in slowly, like drops of ink spreading through water. I expected anger, maybe betrayal, or at the very least, some kind of judgment for what I allowed to happen downstairs. But instead, there's pride in his tone, a fierce, undeniable admiration that I can't quite comprehend. I search his face, desperate for any sign of resentment, but all I find is that pride, mingled with something darker, something possessive that sends a shiver down my spine. It's not just satisfaction I see, it's a kind of ownership, as if tonight wasn't just about the men below, but about us, about claiming something in our bond that I hadn't even known was missing. I lift the glass to my lips, the rich, bitter taste of the wine grounding me as it slides down my throat. It's sharp, complex, much like the emotions swirling inside me, and as I swallow, a clarity begins to settle over me. Victor didn't orchestrate this evening solely for the members of the Crimson Vault. No, this was for us, for some unspoken need in our marriage that I hadn't recognized until this very moment. It's as if he saw a part of me I'd kept buried, a hunger for something beyond the polished life we've built, and he drew it out, gave it space to breathe. And now, standing here with the taste of wine lingering on my tongue, I realize I have no regrets. None. What happened tonight wasn't a mistake or a lapse. It was a revelation. I became a legend in that ancient cellar, a story etched into the stone walls just as indelibly as the rare vintages Victor so often speaks of with such reverence. My name, my essence, will linger in the whispers of that space, a tale told in hushed tones long after the candlelight has faded. My body still hums with the memory of each interaction, each moment of connection that pushed me beyond my boundaries. It's not just the physical echoes that stir me now. It's the hunger for more. Not just for the experience itself, though that raw intensity is a fire I can't ignore, but for the version of myself I discovered tonight. I'm not the silent partner anymore, not just the elegant figure on Victor's arm. I'm something else, something fierce and unapologetic, a force that demands to be felt. I can feel that shift in my very bones, a transformation that's as intoxicating as the wine in my glass. And as I stand here, the cool night air brushing against my skin, I know I want to chase that feeling, to explore the edges of who I can be. Victor watches me closely, his gaze unwavering, as if he can read every thought flickering through my mind. There's a quiet intensity in Victor's stare that holds me captive, as if he's already mapping out the next chapter of this wild, untamed journey we've begun. I stand here on the terrace, the single candle flickering between us, casting a warm, golden glow that dances across his sharp features. The night air brushes against my flushed skin, cooling the heat that still lingers from the intensity of the crimson vault below. I feel different. It's hard to put into words, but it's as if the events in that ancient cellar have peeled back layers of who I thought I was, revealing someone bolder, hungrier, someone who craves the raw edge of life I tasted tonight. I'm not the same Stella who descended those stone steps hours ago, trembling with uncertainty. No, I'm something more now, something untamed and alive. I turn to Victor, my heart steady for the first time all evening, and I let the words spill out before I can second-guess myself. I want more, I say, my voice clear and unwavering, cutting through the stillness of the night. More nights like this, more stories to live, more of this version of me I glimpsed down there. I gesture vaguely toward the cellar beneath us, but he knows exactly what I mean. I can see it in the way his eyes darken, not with surprise, but with a deep, unspoken understanding. He doesn't respond right away, and for a moment the silence stretches taut between us, charged with a weight I can't quite name. Then slowly, he nods, a subtle motion that feels like a promise. He reaches for the bottle of wine on the table, pouring himself a glass with that same deliberate precision I've come to associate with him. The deep, red liquid catches the candlelight as it fills the crystal, and it's as if he's sealing a silent pact between us, a vow that this is only the start of something bigger, something wilder. I turn my gaze out over the city, the sprawling lights below twinkling like a constellation of possibilities. Each one feels like a story waiting to be told, a secret waiting to be uncovered. My mind drifts to the crimson vault beneath our feet, that hidden realm of stone and shadow that now feels like a part of me. I can almost hear its call, a low, seductive whisper urging me to return, to dive deeper into its mysteries. I know it's waiting for me, holding countless tales yet to unfold, and I'm no longer afraid of what I might find there. Instead, I'm eager, almost impatient, to step back into that darkness and claim my place at the center of it all. As I stand here, the paradox of tonight gnaws at me, a riddle I can't fully unravel. I think about how I betrayed Victor. Not once, but 13 times over, each moment in the cellar a breach of the life we've built, a step beyond the boundaries of our vows. And yet, standing here with him now, I feel closer to him than I ever have before. It's as if those very betrayals have forged a new kind of loyalty, a bond forged in the heat of shared secrets and orchestrated desires. We've danced a dangerous, intoxicating dance tonight, one that stripped us bare in ways I never imagined possible, and somehow it's tied us together with threads stronger than ever. I don't fully understand it, but I feel it in my core. This connection, this unspoken agreement that we're in this together, no matter where it leads. The city hums below, a living, breathing entity that seems to pulse in time with my own heartbeat. I let my thoughts wander, imagining the countless nights ahead, the stories that await in the depths of the vault. I know this is only the beginning, that there are layers upon layers of mysteries hidden in that ancient space, each one a chance to redefine myself, to push further into the unknown. I've tasted something tonight, a raw, unfiltered version of life that I didn't know I craved until it was laid bare before me. And now that I've felt it, I can't go back to the polished, predictable existence I once knew. I'm ready to be at the heart of those stories, to carve out a new path for myself, embracing the unknown. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. If you enjoyed this story, this will help us create more engaging stories for you.